Hello there everyone, here is today's assignment. So we have recently been talking about the causes of World War I. Remember there are the four main causes: militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. In class we talked about the spark that's actually going to set all of that off. Those four main causes really get everybody to the point where war could easily break out. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie are going to actually be the spark, right? All of a sudden Austria-Hungary is blaming Serbia, right? They ask really crazy demands of Serbia. Serbia can't meet those demands and unwilling to meet those demands. Okay, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Serbia kills Russia, right? And then all of a sudden our alliances come in. All right, so in order to help you understand the outbreak and the progression of World War I, okay, you need to think about it in terms of it happens as a result of multiple events and also multiple influences that are sometimes kind of hard to understand. So one way to think about these events is to think of them as actions by a group of people that are taken due to a cause, right, for that action. And then once that action is taken, there is, of course, a result. The method of thinking like this, we call it the CAR method. C stands for cause, A stands for action, R stands for result. All right, so here is an example for you. Okay, the action that I give you is nearly 6,000 French women marched to Versailles demanding bread. It's been a little while since we talked about the French Revolution, but that's our action here, right? Nearly 6,000 French women marched to Versailles demanding bread. What you need to then think about is what caused them to do that, right? What caused these 6,000 women to march those 12 miles in the pouring down rain, right? Well, we said the high prices of bread and social class inequalities left that third estate hungry, right? So they had had enough. The result of them marching to Versailles is that King Louis and his family are actually forced to leave Versailles and move back to Paris, where they could be surrounded by the suffering and so everybody could keep an eye on them, right? So that one is an example of the cause and the result. With the activity today, there are sometimes more than one right answer, and that's okay too. So let's do this one. British farmers moved to the cities to find jobs in factories in the late 1700s, right? This was our Industrial Revolution, right? So we talk about British farmers moved to the cities as our action, right, to find jobs in factories, all right? So a cause. What caused these British farmers to move to the cities to find jobs, right? So you could actually go into things like the enclosure movement, right? Took away the common land so the poor people couldn't farm it anymore. Therefore, they're forced to leave and move to the cities. Maybe it could be that farmers couldn't afford the seed drill or other agricultural advances. Maybe it was simply that farming techniques end up with a surplus of food, so now there can be fewer farmers. So some people will move to the cities, right? There's more than one possible right answer there. If we look at the result of the British farmers moving to the cities, well, if everybody's moving to cities to find jobs in factories, that means maybe there is a worker surplus, right? So a result might be that these farmers are faced with accepting really low wages in the factories. Or maybe women and children end up being hired instead of men. Or maybe it could just be that all of a sudden the labor provides these factories with an opportunity for increased production, right? So there's all sorts of results that could come from that. All right, so here's what we would like for you to do today. Please work on these and be prepared to share your answers in class. All right, so the very first one, Gavriel Princip assassinates Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. Gavriel Princip was that Serbian nationalist who was going to assassinate the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. What caused him to do this? All right, so think about it. What did Austria-Hungary do to the Serbians, right, that would upset them enough that one of their sort of really truly terrorists ends up assassinating the leader to be? And then what is the result of this? I mentioned the result at the beginning, right? So Gavriel Princip assassinates him, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Austria-Hungary is going to want revenge, right? Austria-Hungary wants to blame someone, and so they're going to make really crazy demands of Serbia. Or you could say something like Austria-Hungary just goes ahead and declares war on Serbia, right? Whatever it may be, right, okay, there is going to be a result, right? If we talk about number 2, Germany continues its massive military buildup. What would cause Germany to continue to build up a massive military? Maybe it was something like, oh, another industrialized country, Great Britain, right, already had a really big military. So therefore Germany is also going to build up its military, and all of a sudden the result is everybody's sitting around with a huge stockpile of weapons, right? And all of a sudden, instead of talking about their problems, maybe they'll turn to right? Military. Maybe Germany continuing its massive military buildup allows them to go out and get colonies. Maybe it allows them to be seen as a major threat, right? There's all sorts of results, okay, that could possibly be right answers. Number 3 rather, in the early 1900s, ethnic groups were were trying to break free in the Balkans to form their own nations, right? Why would ethnic groups want to break free in the Balkans to form their own nations? What would cause that? It sounds to me like perhaps their nations had been taken over, right? The result of that, right, is maybe like nationalist movements, like, for example, the Black Hand Gang, right, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The result may also be just tensions in the Balkans, and all of a sudden the Balkan territory is a black powder keg, right? Number 4, okay, goes into the sequence of events with your alliances. Number 5, okay, is an important one to think about, and number 6, okay, as well, actually goes into the Schlieffen plan. All right, so I would like for you to, okay, complete these today, and if you are still listening to this video, okay, please go ahead and email me with this CAR. You can do it in whatever way you would like, right? In the subject of your email, just go ahead and type in your name and then the word CAR, okay? The action is you become a millionaire, right? What causes you to become a millionaire? I don't know, make it up, right? And then what is the result of you becoming a millionaire, right? So that one, have a little bit of fun with it, and we'll give you some extra credit for that. All right, if you have questions, make sure that you Zoom with me today, or shoot me an email and we'll take care of it. We will be talking about these CAR activities in class, so if you're super confused on a couple of them, it's okay. Do your best, right, and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, have a great day.